Where are you, JD?
We miss you, Tyler. How many bars are we doing with this? Oh no, it really is a Hunter Harper show. We're singing and everything. Oh no.
We're recording this episode in the past.
Yeah.
COVID is happening right now, I
What
guess.
date is this really? Oh yeah, I'm Fat Harper again.
Yeah, there we go. There
There,
we go.
this is 2 years ago, mate. Here I am.
This is 2 years ago, me. So
That's with the beard and the hair,
yeah,
like the
yeah,
unkempt look. Nah, it's okay. We understand. We understand, buddy, and we're here
yeah,
for you.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, our boys are missing.
Charper and I both have extremely busy weekends with the whole crime happening in the world, and we figured out a way to put an end to
Are we
crime.
I was gonna say, are we doing the crime? Or are we ending crime? We're
Uh,
ending it.
yeah, we're ending all crime.
Wow.
No
Isn't that a
matter where you
Batman
live.
book? Isn't that like James
Probably.
Tynan's Batman? Didn't he
Uh,
end? Didn't Catwoman make an agreement with the criminals to
oh,
stop
yeah,
doing
no,
crime?
that's just a Darsky. That's like recent.
Zdarsky, wow.
That feels like forever ago. That was like 2 months ago, but yeah. Let's stop crime.
She said stop doing the crime, and then crime was okay or something.
She said only do crime if it's to rich, privileged people.
Right. Okay. No, she would do specific crime.
Yeah. And
What an
and for
idea.
some and Chip Zdarsky's like, yeah, and the entire Bat family agreed,
And
except
we're
for
okay with it.
Batman.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
You see like a
Wow.
thug's like mugging someone and Nightwing's watching, but he sees like the guy has like a really nice watch on. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I'll let this.
Go
Oh,
for it.
let's go. He's rich.
Yeah. It's okay. It happens.
Some people have money and aren't the worst people in the world. Catwoman. Come on, bro.
Exactly.
You almost married one. Like, come on.
Yeah, basically. Imagine if
What
you
day do
like
we usually release this show?
it's different now. It's Saturdays or Fridays, but we're recording
Yep.
this on a Wednesday.
I was gonna say today's Wednesday for you.
Yeah, Thursday for you. So yeah, so I Harper and I both have busy weekends doing that. So I talked to everyone. I said, "Hey, let's record today if possible." It's okay if it's not possible. Harper said, "Sure." Tyler said, "Sure" at first, but it got busy. JD
Mm.
said, "Absolutely, I will be there 100%."
We haven't heard from him.
We haven't heard from him in like 10 hours.
Yeah, like I love JD so much for that. He'll say I can be there, and then we don't know if he will be until we're in the episode, and he either shows up or he never does.
Mhm.
We never know what it's gonna
So
be.
maybe he'll join. He did literally say yes, but he also said he doesn't think Harper can.
Yeah, yeah, he's specific. Well, I mean, usually you'd be right. It's just because I was off work today, but
Yeah.
like, he's like, I don't think Harper will be on it, and I'm the one person that can.
Yeah, so maybe I have a feeling JD will join. It's usually around this time that he does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he'll join if he
It
can.
pulls up randomly. Oh,
But it's just gonna be us talking of improv and mostly because since we're recording super early and Harper quit superheroes, Ultimate
it's
Spider-Man's
it's
the only book we have.
it's no, I no, the most important thing, and I can't believe that we have to do this again, is that Hunter Murray once again is correct. He's correct. He was right and I was wrong. And I was so sure that I was right. I would have bet money on it, and I'm pretty sure I didn't, but
You
I
still
would
can.
have.
You still can.
I won't now, but
Okay.
old Robbie P, old Robert Pattinson has been spotted on the set of the Penguin, or has taken a photo with a security guard or something on the set of the Penguin, and it looks like he's going to be in the fucking Penguin.
Batman's gonna be in Penguin. Or Bruce
He's
Wayne
going
at
to be in
least,
Penguin.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
but still, like, I mean, it's this. I'm not going to draw. Oh, he's not in the suit. It doesn't count. I was so sure he would not be in it whatsoever for a single frame.
I feel like they have to put him in because if he's not in, people will be disappointed by the end of the show.
I know, but I just
Because
remember when we
remember,
watched 9 episodes of WandaVision and we spent the whole
I was
time
about to
going, "I wonder when we're gonna see
Doctor
whoever, like
Strange.
Doctor Strange or the Mephisto or whatever." You know what I mean? And we
Yeah,
never saw any of those people.
yeah.
And like, I don't know. I thought like, there's no way like the Colin Farrell
But
Penguin show.
DC's a little different. Like Peacemaker. had
Had the
Aquaman and
whole
Flash in it.
had the yeah, had the Justice League. Well, half of them, I guess.
Two of them technically. The rest are
Two of them
silhouettes.
technically, yeah.
But like, I feel like it's a little different with DC. I feel like they will actually put their main guys up in front and center.
Yeah. Yeah, Marvel, yeah.
It's
You
sad
know.
because when
Star Wars does.
the
So
Batman
there's that,
came
I
out,
guess.
Robert Pattinson did so many interviews where he's just like, I want to play this character for like the rest of my life. I want to play this character for 10 years, and now it looks like he might just get like another movie and a Penguin cameo, and
And a
then
Penguin
like
cameo. I really hope the Penguin show is like 8 episodes of like genuinely well written crime drama, and then the last 5 minutes is Robert Pattinson just relentlessly beating the shit out of him, and the show just ends like that.
the show is about Penguin trying to like get money so he could afford some type of like surgery to make his face back to normal. And he gets it
Mm.
at the end, and then Batman just beats him
Do we
again.
get a weight loss montage?
I hope so.
Where he like turns into
Exactly like
sexy Colin
Thor,
Farrell. That'd be so, oh, yeah, exactly like Thor.
where he's like
Can I?
pulling a boat and everything.
I really want to show. I want to show the audience this. Like Hunter said, "Hey, be ready in 15 minutes," and then you
Oh
message and
yeah.
went ready, and I was still sitting on the couch. I had not set anything up, and the reason that I was is because I was currently in the middle of watching Sideshow Collectibles unboxing of the Black Adam hot toy. I was like, I'll give this a watch. Why not? Let's see.
How is it?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it.
Did you actually?
No.
I think it'd be so
What?
funny if you had it.
No, I can't like I'm trying I don't know what character I have that is the most like not a favorite of I think it's Jason Voorhees because I've got him there with Michael and I like Friday the 13th but don't love it. But Jason's like an icon.
And he's
Everyone
with
else
an
I have,
icon, yeah.
yeah, everyone else I have is like top tier characters. Like I'm not about
But
to
you
spend
have
500.
doubles.
I do have doubles, but my doubles are of like Anakin Skywalker and Doctor Strange. They're like top three characters. Ah, top five.
You can get rid of doubles for Black
No,
Adam.
I, no, no,
But
no, no, no,
imagine how
no.
funny that would be.
It would be funny. Yes, I agree. It would be funny, especially as like a centerpiece. Like instead of my Empire Darth Vader by itself, it's just Black Adam in the middle of the Star Wars row.
You could put
Yeah, it
him on
would be
the
fun.
shelf behind you.
Just on the bookshelf.
So every time you like move your head, you kind of get like a little tease of death.
My girlfriend will come home and be like, "Why have you moved all my books?" I'll be like, "Black Adam."
Have you shown her that?
the Black Adam hot toy?
No, just the movie.
No, she has watched the video of us though.
Oh, watching Black Adam.
And when I
There's
said, I said, "Look, babe, it's released," and I showed her the photo of Black Adam, she went, "Oh, that's the one you hate." I was like, "Yep."
if she finds out that it's not nominated for any Oscars a year after it came out, she's gonna fall to her knees.
She might, yeah. And she'll also
What
go,
do you
"What is that? What
mean?
is that again?" Like, Dwayne Johnson. He was a slave when he was a man, and when I
When
was
he
a
was a
boy,
man, yeah,
I
kind
I
of,
don't remember how it goes.
kind of. I guess the one of the not the big news, but since we're recording on a Wednesday, a lot of news might happen tomorrow or the next day, and people are going to be like, "Why do you talk about that?" For example, I know the Peacemaker Mortal Kombat 1 trailers tomorrow. We're not talking
Yeah,
about it
it's
because,
gameplay though. It's just gameplay. Like,
I
who
mean, what else
cares?
are they going to show?
It's a Mortal Kombat game. He's gonna be on the side like this, and he's gonna have different moves.
And he's
Okay.
going to say funny words, and his fatality will be a reference to the show.
Yeah, an American flag and an eagle or something.
Yeah.
And somewhere in the universe, Sean Grubin is crying with joy.
Probably, actually, he plays Mortal Kombat,
And
which
he also
is,
loves Peacemaker.
yeah, this is made for
He
him.
was Peacemaker on this show once. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember Sean being on the show.
That was like a different lifetime ago, a
The
different
show's
life ago.
changed quite a bit since then. We played Dungeons and Dragons. We did Star Wars videos.
I like the Star Wars ones. I feel like I have lots of Star Wars opinions these days, but nowhere to share them.
I remember we did the first Star Wars one, and it's just like, what does everyone think of Phantom Menace? And then we talked about
Uh,
it for like 40 minutes and then we're
Yeah,
like, all
that's the
right, let's do
problem.
the next movie. And it's like, oh, right. We're just we're to
We're
get through like
running out of time.
get through like 9 of these. Okay.
What was that? There was another big ish news, wasn't there?
There's quite a bit of big-ish news. Marvel, or there, Hollywood Reporter released an article on called "How Marvel is Quietly Retooling Amid Superhero Fatigue,"
Mm.
and it's quite an interesting, like, official article too. This isn't just like someone on Twitter talking, but I made a bunch of little notes when I read it.
Oh, excellent.
So
I'm gonna
what I
go.
got,
I'm gonna do our like woo or that's rating scale for these ideas.
I mean, there's nothing amazing. It's not
Okay, I'm
like this
still gonna
person was
do it.
casted. Okay. Uh They people are calling it a reboot of Marvel Studios, but Marvel isn't calling it a reboot. They're not calling it a soft reboot, but they're calling it creative retooling for the next phase after Wonder Man.
Woo! That's good.
Marvel quietly hired someone named Eric Pearson to polish the script of the Fantastic Four, which starts shooting this summer in London. Pearson worked on Thor Ragnarok and Black Widow, and he was the one that
Mhm.
redid the entire scripts after they were approved. He went like, no, this is bad, and redid them. So
Both of those are decent movies. I
yeah,
love Thor Ragnarok and Black Widow's pretty good.
yeah. Marvel hired someone named Joanna Callow, the showrunner of I'm gonna restart that. Sorry.
It's always so good that you do the news.
I know. Marvel hired Joanna Callow, the showrunner of the series The Bear, which is
Oh,
about the talking teddy bear,
about the guy
to
that
work
fights
on the
bears.
script of Thunderbolts, um, which
Oh
starts
my
filming
god,
in
that's still
March.
a Oh, I
Starts
mean, it's
filming in
all
like 2 weeks.
right. Who cares?
Yeah.
Actually, no. There's a reason to be excited for Thunderbolts, but what is it? Oh, Bullseye. If they put Bullseye in it, I would give a shit, but they won't, so I don't care.
Yeah. And it sucks because Bullseye's like in the MCU now.
Yeah, Bullseye is the Captain Boomerang of Marvel.
I,
Just ignore it. Just
I
move
get
past it.
I
Just
was
pretend it
closer to
makes
like
sense.
Deadshot, probably. But
I don't know
okay.
who that is.
Will Smith.
I don't know who that
Uh
is.
okay, Justice League
I was
kills
hoping
or
you would go Deadshot, and then I go, don't know. You go Will Smith, I go, don't know. And you go, Deadshot. And I'd be like, oh, right, from the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Not the one in that, because apparently that's the fake one, or maybe
No. The one
it's
that's
the
in,
real
yeah,
one.
it's the real one. The one that was in the other Arkham games, despite being like a perfect marksman, was a fake.
Was just a guy that happened to be a
Why go
perfect
to such
marksman and
lengths
called
to like
Deadshot.
why does he have to be a fake? Just make him another one.
I think it's because they wanted to say this isn't another one. This is the
It
real
was
one.
it was never supposed to be canon, was it? It really
No,
wasn't.
no. They just made it look like Will Smith because it's more familiar to general audiences. But Arkham fans are playing this game, not fans of the 2016 rotten movie Suicide Squad. So okay. I'll move on. Uh, this is a big one. Early February, Agatha Darkhold Diaries did a bunch of reshoots.
Yes.
Apparently, they reshot scenes for every episode. No
That's
word
a
on how
great
many
sign.
episodes, but yeah,
That's an
great,
all.
great sign. You looked at it and went like, ooh.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so they did reshoot things. So it's supposed to come out this fall for like Halloween theme because it's gonna
Makes
be
sense.
horror, but like as horror as probably Multiverse of Madness was horror. Probably less actually because
I
Multiverse of
blanked
Madness
out
had
then
like
so hard. Like I just didn't care so hard about Agatha that
Agatha
as you were talking, I caught myself just staring at you on the screen and not like having
Darkhold
any
Diaries.
thoughts.
I thought it was
Dark
Covenant and Chaos. I thought that was the recent
Covenant of
one, but it's
Chaos
not.
went Covenant of Chaos went relatively hard. I'm
But
not gonna lie.
probably there's probably no chaos in this. It's about a diary.
But it's Diary, great. I don't care. Who
Awesome.
cares?
Yeah.
One Division ended up being a wet fart. Why would I care about it doesn't matter. Anyway.
Two more points here. Avengers: The Kang Dynasty will be getting a new title to remove the character's name. Those sources
Good.
say that even before Major's conviction, the studio was making moves to minimize the character after Quantum Mania underperformed big time.
Fair. Fair enough too. As Tyler would say right now if he were on, Kang is not that guy.
He's
They
not.
should just call it the Doom Dynasty and be done with it.
Sure.
That's it.
But like he wasn't the problem of Ant-Man.
He became the problem in real
He's great
life.
in Loki. Yeah, he's the problem in real life, but
Yeah,
like
but it's still not that, like, no one is excited for it to be Kang. And like, I think it was over the moment they put him as the villain in the third Ant-Man movie. The moment they made that choice. Like, if Thanos was the villain of Iron Man 3, would you have been as excited to see him fight the Avengers in like 5, 6 years?
not if like Iron Man beat him easily like
Not Yeah,
Ant-Man
Iron
did.
Man
Yeah.
puts he does the thing where he swooshes the Mark 42 or whatever it is, and it goes on him and then blows up, and that's it.
Because you didn't see Ant-Man 3, right?
No, no, I watched up until the part where they get into the quantum realm.
So you watched the intro.
I watched 10 minutes.
I
Yeah.
understand turning off then. You saw like the montage where he's like leaning against the wall and like taps
Yeah,
his chest and the suit just like doesn't animate on him, just kind of appears on
just
him.
appears on him. I watched enough to see Ryan from BuzzFeed Unsolved. I saw his cameo.
I don't know what that is.
Ryan and Shane, the Ghost Boys.
I don't watch BuzzFeed
Ryan
stuff.
Bergara and Shane Madej. The audience will know what I'm talking about. If you're an audience member and you know what I'm talking about, send Murray a thumbs up and just say Ryan,
I'm sure
please.
I'm sure I don't remember, but I guarantee at the theater that everyone screamed when they appeared.
Everyone
That was
screamed at the BuzzFeed boys.
I probably would run out because I thought there was like something happening, like there was like a fire in the theater or something, and that's why people were screaming. But it's because there's two people that worked for BuzzFeed.
They're good. They were the best part of. But this is a tangent. I apologize.
No, I like theater hype is awesome. That's also a tangent. Like
Something
No
got
Way
me
Home.
excited recently.
No Way
What
Home
got
is
me?
one of the best theater experience I've had because the audience was freaking out. Same with Endgame and Five Nights at Freddy's,
Uh,
which
Do you want to know spoilers for Godzilla X Kong?
should we say it on a podcast?
Close your ears for the next. Wait, no. Some people are in cars. I'm going to give a five
Message me.
seconds. This is the spoiler warning, and then there's going to be like 5 seconds, and then it'll be fine. You ready? You ready for this?
Okay, yeah, 5 seconds. So 3, 2, 1, skip.
Mothra is back, and I love Mothra. That's it.
I do too.
I think that's awesome because they didn't
Yeah,
get a lot to do in the other
no,
movie that they are in that we will not say because that will be a spoiler.
that is cool.
Yeah, that's
I don't think the movie
exciting.
will be good, but
I
yeah,
don't think the movie will be good at all. It will not be good, but I'm still like, give me the lizard.
it looks so
Bad.
ridiculous.
No, it looks bad. Like, it
I
looks
guess
bad. You
it's
can say
because
it. It
we
looks
just saw
bad.
like -1 where it's like it's taken very seriously.
Just a fucking 10 out of 10 movie. That's the best movie from last year of the
This one,
three that I
there's
saw.
baby big CGI monkey, and they're like
I
running
saw,
side by
I saw,
side.
I saw a stat about him, Suko, potentially the son of Kong. I saw a
Potentially,
stat.
okay.
I saw a stat saying that he's 103 meters tall. No, 130 meters tall, and Kong in Skull Island was 100. I'm like, this big baby is taller than Kong was in his first movie. That can't be right. Like,
Because
he's got a big baby
Kong
face.
was like relatively short compared to like Godzilla
He
in
was, but
Skull
then they
Island.
sized him up massively.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you I saw Kong Skull Island a month before it released? I went to like a premiere that was happening
What?
in my city. Yeah, it was weird.
I haven't seen it at all.
It's all right.
I watch the Kong movies that have the big lizard in them, and that's it.
Yeah, there was like a premiere in my city. You had to like wear a suit and everything. I got a ticket. I won a ticket at my comic store, and then I sat in a seat. Then they called my seat name up. It was the first time I won anything ever. It's like, hey, come on down to whoever's in this seat. I'm like, that's my seat, and I got a T-shirt.
Or do you still have that t-shirt?
I do, yeah, I still do.
Wow.
I'll send a picture. I'll wear it next episode or something. But yeah, it's like cool, I guess. Is
What
that
would
like
you
the
do
premiere?
if like one morning, like you get a delivery, you open it, it's a note from me, and then the delivery is the Black Adam hot toy?
Oh my god.
Would you covet it, or would you like realize that it's the stupidest thing ever?
I would take it everywhere, but I'd be nervous about taking it everywhere. You know when you're on a plane, you're
Think you
watching
get
a
hurt?
movie, and there's like a sex scene, and you like don't want anyone to be watching, so it's like you kind of have to skip through it, or you don't want anyone like you feel awkward, right?
No, no, I generally would watch like hardcore sort of stuff with the family.
I mean, on a plane though.
Oh, well, on a plane, it's like everyone's watching it anyway, so who cares?
Okay, well, I feel awkward.
I
That
gather the troops around. I say, look, learn as I learned from my father, and his father learned before
I
he.
think I speak for most people where it's kind of awkward. That would be me holding the Black Adam figure. I'd be walking around like I'd have it on display, but I wouldn't want anyone to like be looking too much.
Oh
If
my
someone stared at me, I would just
gosh. Are we doing Sonic lore this week?
no, because the others aren't here.
But I'm here.
But you're the one who's least interested.
I'm not. I'm not. Like, tell me a Sonic fact.
Oh god, a Sonic fact off the top of my head. Sonic the Hedgehog was originally a rabbit.
That is surprising.
Yeah. So I think you asked top of my head, so maybe at the end of the episode we'll get into something.
I can give you one. So there was this dude named Ken Penders, right? He created this
Oh
character
yeah,
Scourge.
Scourge. Actually, I did more research into that after we recorded talking all about Scourge, and I learned that like he tried to bring Scourge back, Ken Penders on his own in 2020 during the pandemic. And
Just what the
he
world needed.
he made a comic called Scourge the Speed Demon, and it was on Kickstarter. And he's just like, everyone, please fund my comic. We're bringing Scourge back to his original, and it got so much hate that he had to take it down.
No fucking way.
Yeah, he had to take down the Kickstarter immediately, and people were calling it like the fastest time a Kickstarter went up and went back down. This was up for like
Dude,
3 hours.
that's so good. We're in the pandemic. Like you only have to call it the pandemic, not which pandemic, like the pandemic.
Yeah, well,
And Ken Penders
recent.
was just like, you know what the world needs right now? Oh, that's awesome.
And the art is like terrifying because he can't. It's like it's his character, but he can't do like Sonic stuff. So it's the. Turn my brightness down. This was his cover that he was promoting. Wow, that is terrible quality.
That looks disgusting, like as it
Yeah,
is though. Yeah,
yeah.
that's fucked.
Scourge the Speed
I'm
Demon.
gonna say, Hunter, I think Night from the West is better than Scourge.
Scourge the Speed Demon.
Good lord. You
Yeah,
think I can't believe JD's not more into Sonic. It's a thing that goes fast. That's all he cares about.
yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Whether it be
I think I'm
God,
slowly getting him
or
into
his
it.
life in the bedroom.
Oh,
Woo!
nice. I
Got
think he's
him.
slowly getting into it because like
God, I
he
hope
was a
he's not a
hater at first, but now when we talk about it, he's always like, "What?" And the only hate he has now is just like stuff that no one else would hate. He says he hates Tails' voice.
Yeah, yeah, random
Okay.
specificities that like he has to cling on to so that he can't fully admit that something is okay.
I don't like that the kid sounds like a kid.
I can't. I genuinely can't believe. Like, I left the show last week, and it turned into such a good podcast.
We put
Like,
on suits and everything.
such a good point. Like, it went from just regular A Hero Story chaos, haha jokes. I left, and you guys were like, right, here's a complex discussion about comic books and the comic book industry. And I
And
was
how
listening
it's
to it.
dying.
I was like, this is so much better.
I think it's because we all just we don't want to admit that the comic industry is dying. Do you want to join this conversation a week
I
later?
mean, I do. I think there is a. I think Tyler made the best point, which is that they have not evolved with the times whatsoever. But also, I don't know how they do. Like, here's the thing: comic book writers and especially artists should be paid so much more, right? But it feels like there's not enough money to pay them because not enough people are super interested in comics. And even when they raise the prices of comics, like they can't exceed a certain amount. We can't be paying $15 an issue, but like it's a lot of work and a lot of content for like $6. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
for a thing that you jump in $6 and then it's done for a month until the next 6 bucks, like tally that up over the year, it's really not that much. And so it makes sense why they get paid so little, but they shouldn't get paid so little. Otherwise, the industry's going to die. And like Tyler is right. Like they need to promote comic books through movies and TV shows and whatever so that people get invested. But I also feel like that doesn't work. Like I feel like you are either predisposed to reading comics and you will sort of get there naturally on your own, or you're just not going to do it. You know what I mean? I feel like you can't turn a non-believer like converted when it comes to comic books.
Hmm.
I just can't see it.
I think well, it's happened with Supergirl and James Gunn. Like he says like
Yeah,
this is the greatest Supergirl book ever made, and it's what the movie's going to be based off of.
it's true.
And then
It's
it's
true. A
sold
lot of
like
people
crazy.
flock to that book, but I just like I don't that is not like gonna
That's not going to
maintain
happen every time. Yeah.
sales. Yeah, exactly. And like you can't if you're banking on a movie announcement for every little thing, that's only gonna happen like max 10 times before
Mhm.
like that stops being a thing. Like I just don't see it.
Yeah.
James Gunn would have to go, hey, we're doing Batman Brave and the Bold, and it's based off of these 500 issues of Batman, buy them all and then keep buying the new ones. You know what I mean? Like that's not gonna happen. It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I mean, he did
So
say
it's
it's
like
based off of Grant Morrison's run, and that trade sold pretty well
the trade
suddenly.
would have gone absolutely insane,
Mhm.
but also like trades seem to do okay. Like they do all right because I think
Yeah.
people want to collect them. Single issues seem to I don't know. I don't know what the business model needs to be. Like, should we be should comic books go to like releasing as trade instead of releasing as single issues? Like, should it be
Oh,
more hype like
jeez.
when a TV show comes out? Like if you know, like when the Daredevil seasons like on Netflix dropped and we waited, they all dropped at once and we all consumed it. It was like that was fucking crazy. And then we wait a year till the next one. Like, should comics be like that? Like we get instead of an issue of Batman every month, every 6 months we get the Batman, like there's two big Batman stories a year and we binge it all in one. Is that more
DC
exciting because there's more hype?
DC would laugh at you if you said two Batman stories a year.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. 22 Batman
There
stories a
we go.
year
There
in
we go.
trade. And
I
that's, yeah.
that is more hype, but I feel like if they did that, that's also a sign that they failed.
And also the interest between, like they have to keep single issues going because it's like the slight injection. It's like the, hey, remember this, hey, remember this, hey, remember this. And if there's a
Yeah.
6 month wait, the only people that are reading it are the people that probably really, really care. But like you would know this. How often do you read a book that's not one of your top books? You read the issue, you're like, oh, that was pretty good. You get to the next month and you're like, what happened in that last issue? Like, I don't really remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No,
you
it
read a
happens.
trade, like I can tell you when I've binged something. I could tell you like every detail of that thing.
That's true. I mean, we talked last week before that discussion about Green Lantern, where JD, Tyler, and I were all reading Green Lantern. And a big thing in that book is Hal's ring is acting strange because of how he got it. None of us can remember how he got it. And it's an issue that came out in the summer, so it hasn't even been a year, but we're all like, how did he get this ring again? And I still can't remember how he got it.
Mm. It's
So
like,
yeah, because it's a short, like comics aren't long, they're very short. And then you have
yeah.
to wait a month, sometimes more than a month for the next
I
one.
also
So
think like comic books are never going to sell more than they do right now at any given point. Like I think it's always going to be less. And if you can hold on and maintain at any level, then you're doing well.
yeah, that's a good way of saying it,
But it's
actually.
like, but it's like, you could go, the market's oversaturated, but then the flip side of that is like, well, we need that saturation to bring in people, otherwise no one's going to be reading comic books. And so
Mhm.
like, it feels like it's lose-lose. Like there's not the built-in audience for comics is so fledgling compared to movies. Like it's not an art form that is so, or like books, even like just like paperback books. Like the concept of opening 400 pages of just text is so inherently woven into society that like I think books are going to be fine. They're always going to be this niche kind of, oh, look at all the fucking books behind me. But like they're
Yeah.
always this niche thing people are going to care about. Comics are in this weird area where it's like, is it for kids? Is it for adults? oh, if I want to read something, maybe I'll read something that's like, actually reading kind of thing. And like, oh, I can't be bothered reading and looking at the pictures. I'll just watch a movie. Like, it's and it's such an impossible spot. It's a perfect art form to be a pain in the ass for the people that like make it.
Yeah,
It's such a pain.
yeah, no kidding. It's just it's strange because like superhero movies are so popular, but comics are hard
Yeah.
to get into. Like the like the biggest comic right now is Ultimate Spider-Man, but it's also not the Ultimate Spider-Man from the 2000s. It has nothing to do with that, even though it has the same title, and
Yeah.
it's like it's completely different universe. And like I understand that it's just hard to get into, but once you get into it, you understand. But you also realize like this is a very difficult industry in general, which is why like
It's
I,
also like I feel like it's vaguely overwhelming at times too. Like I
oh yeah,
like the joke on the podcast is that I don't care about comics, right? Because like I dip out for 6 months and don't read them and then like
yeah.
catch back up. But it is like I look at the list and I'm like, okay, Daredevil, Darth Vader, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and then whatever else. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, I'll just get to them when I get to it. And like, unless it's a like an event that I care about, like a Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise or like a Thrawn Alliances or like something that's like it's limited and it's important and it's not like the ongoing thing. I'm like, I'll read that, but I'll let the other stuff go because like I'll catch up on 10 issues of Doctor Strange. I did like 5 the other day and I went, okay, that's pretty good. But then I didn't have the like, I need to keep going because I'm not reaching an endpoint. I'm catching up to then go, I'm going to wait another month. And in that month, I lose my like, oh, I really want to read this. Like it's gone.
Hmm. Yeah,
But like a
the
TV
hype's
show, when it
gone.
comes out, like this new Walking Dead show, right? There's going to be 6 episodes, one a week for 6 weeks. So every week I'm like being roped in. It's just enough time to be like, I'm building the hype back up. Like there's a threshold, like the 3 days after it's done where you're like, wow, that was cool. I wonder what's going to happen. And then you hit the fourth day and you're like, all right, we're getting closer. And then those last 3 days, you're like, here we go. Like we're building up to it. And it
Mhm.
gets you excited. And then you get it and then back down, back up. But like monthly comic books, whether it's the art form or the time in between, like that commitment doesn't feel as like, here it comes. Like I'm more like, oh yeah, there it is. Or oh, it's this week that it comes out. Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be next week. Oh, I thought it was the week before. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. And I fucking love comic books. I do think they're the best medium. I really do. Like, I love them so much. But me, life gets busy and I want to commit to something. And if it's not the best thing in the world or it's not like special, if it's just an ongoing fucking run on whoever, I'm like, okay, I'll get to it eventually.
Daredevil's really good right now. So,
I'm sure it is.
yeah, so I
It
get
doesn't
that. Yeah.
it doesn't help that like I'm probably narrow-minded in this because the characters that I would want to read are characters that I've read like the last 50 years worth of their comic books and I'm not jumping out of my skin to be like, oh, I need to read the next Daredevil story. I'm like, I've read fucking every Daredevil story from like 1978 until like 2021. Like I'm not itching for it so bad. Same with
Mhm.
Iron Man, it's the same with Doctor Strange. Like when it's just an ongoing, I feel like I have that like it's just an ongoing, even if it's really good, and then I end up reading it and I go, that was great, but it's because I binge it. I love binging series.
It
I
is
don't
good to do that.
I
Yeah.
don't like reading month to month at all. It's like at the start of
Yeah.
last year, I read like all of The Walking Dead in a month or something. It was ridiculous. That's 193 issues. It was like it was 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
was
just quick.
yeah, I was like, and then Miles Morales. I read like 60 something issues of
Oh
Miles Morales.
yeah.
I don't even care. Like, I don't care about Miles Morales as a character that much, but I was just invested and I was like, oh, I can binge all of this. But if
Forgot
the
you
only
read
Miles
that.
Morales comics that existed at the time were month to month, I would read one and then I'd probably forget about him.
Yeah. I totally forgot you read that much, Miles.
Yeah, and that was last year. Like, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah,
Like,
you should do it again.
yeah, maybe I generally pick something and like I'll just read it. Like I imagine I'll read Invincible one day. I just don't know when. But like I love binging series. I love reading issue to issue to issue to issue and then feel it like if there's 20 issues, I love getting 6 in and being like, I've made progress. Like
Hmm.
that feels it's like a book. Like when I'm on like chapter 10 of a book and I see how far I've come, and then I'm like, okay, There's 32 chapters and I've read 10. Like I'm a sizable amount into this book. I feel that like gratification, but like ongoing comics, I feel like if I don't know where the end point for this series is and I'm on issue 7, I'm like, this could go for another 30 issues and I don't really care that much right now. Like
Mhm.
I almost need it to be done before I give a fuck. Is that
Yeah,
weird? It's
no,
kind
no,
of weird.
I get that. I totally get that for sure. Like you do make sense in that case, and people just drop out of their hobbies sometimes and they get back into it. I at the start of last year I was reading 150 issues a month, and now I read whatever's out.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever's out. Like
I'll
I
read
am
like
hyped this week. Thrawn Alliances issue 2 comes out, but like the predisposition there is that A, it's a top 5 character. Well, I mean, there's 2 top 5 characters in there. There's Anakin and Thrawn. Oh, I forgot about the balloons.
oh
Ah, that scared the shit out of me. What the fuck?
I didn't know that was either.
I was about to get Pennywise there. I was just doing 2. Fucking leave me alone.
Zoom.
Sorry for the audio listeners. That was another
Zoom
hand signals and
filter,
then
I
zoom.
guess.
Yeah, zoom filter.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's Anakin and Thrawn. It's literally like number 3 and number 4 favorite characters of all time in a comic book series that is only 4 issues long. I know it's going to end in 2 months, and it's adapting a book that I've read twice. Like I'm already interested because I know this story, I know these characters, I'm here for it. But like, I don't give a fuck about Iron Man marrying Emma Frost. I don't care.
But you're not an X-Men fan, so
That's true. I'm not an X-Men fan.
so yeah, I get that too. Like I both of those characters I like, but not to the point that I'd read it.
Yeah, well, like, what's your number one? Like, I'm like, for me at the moment, I feel like it would be that Thrawn because I know it's limited, and then Doctor Strange is the thing that I find myself thinking about the most, and then like Daredevil is somewhere. Daredevil's like currently somewhere on the bottom. Like, I just don't have the. I don't know if I burnt myself out reading so much
You
Daredevil in a
might
short
have.
time, but
You
like,
might have.
maybe I did, but like, I just can't. I got to be honest, I can't find myself caring about that final Chip Zdarsky like arc with like Matt in the hand and him and Electra getting married and the beard and stuff. Like it looks cool, but it feels like that should have been 2 arcs before. Like
Yeah, no, he
make that fucking
definitely
Devil's Reign,
it
like end it. Like these random 14 issues that are just hanging on the end. Like
it took a
I'm
while.
sure it finishes well, and I'm sure that I would look at it, I would read it, and then like look at the whole thing and go, "Oh no, I love this. This is Daredevil. This is my boy." But like at current, I'm just like whatever. And maybe there's something to be said that like the media, like the superhero content, live action, animated, whatever it is at the moment, maybe
Oh,
because
that's
that stuff
bad.
is not, yeah, because maybe that's not as good as I want it to be. Like maybe I'm not as like drawn to it. Like I think Star Wars, I've had a resurgence and it's like hasn't left my mind as much because we had like Andor and Ahsoka back to back. And for some reason that has been enough to like sustain my interest and be like, I love Star Wars. You know what I mean?
You do have a
Whereas before
point,
that, we
yeah.
had like Mandalorian season 3 and fucking Boba Fett. And I was like, oh, whatever. Like I could
Yeah.
give a shit.
Well, after Spider-Verse came out, I was reading like so much Miles because
That's
I
why I read
just loved it.
Miles. Like I
Yeah.
read it because of that movie. I was like, he's
Yeah,
cool.
I read the Cody Ziegler Spider-Punk miniseries. Like I was just so into it, and I was reading Spider-Verse, even though Spider-Verse isn't a good comic, but I was reading it because I just wanted more of like those characters
Yeah, I
and
was
that
reading that
world.
fucking Moreland Spider. What is that? The Spider Verse one, the one that's in the Dan slot.
Yeah, more than like the it's not
Yeah,
a
I read
vampire,
like an
but like
issue
he's
of that before I went.
yeah.
Oh, I'm skimming this because this is not enjoyable for me.
It's not that good. But yeah,
This is
no,
rough.
because the comic media isn't the greatest at the moment. I think 2025 will change that. So to get through all this year, it slowed us down. Like I got every time I had free time for myself, I would always read comics, and now I play Street Fighter. I I'll read comics later, kind of thing.
I can tell you the time where I read the most Iron Man comics. It was between Infinity War and Endgame.
Oh
Like
yes,
I was on such a high that I binged like 20 years worth of Iron Man just so I could watch him kill himself in Endgame. Like I was
yeah.
so hyped and so excited. And like I feel like when Born Again comes out, I'll be like, oh man, I've got to read like whatever niche thing from the 60s. Like I don't
You
even
gotta
care
read the
about.
current run.
Yeah, or that, yeah, or this one. I don't even know who this one is written by.
Ahmed
Exactly, that's what I would have said.
it's interesting. He's a priest and he's like doing exorcists on people.
That does sound cool. However, like I'm more predisposed to Doctor Strange right now.
Yeah, no, that's I get it. I
Mm.
understand. But that being said, we still love comics and we'll always love these characters, and we're not stopping
Yeah,
this
it's I'll
comic book
never
podcast.
I'll never stop reading comic books. Like it's just it's too much a part of like, our lives for it to ever go away.
Mhm.
I think we just pick and choose the stuff we read more and more. And like for me, I read two back-to-back Tony Stark Iron Man books that I was just like, these are not very good. And so Jerry Duggins comes around and like apparently it's good, but like I was so done by that point that I'm like, I will read this in trade when it is done. And I will, and I'm sure I will enjoy it. And that is exciting for me. But like, I don't know. I'm not if someone came to me and be like, "Oh, you have to like if your Iron Man's your favorite character, and you're not reading the current run," I'd be like, are you actually serious?"
You're not reading the one with Emma Frost? What the hell, man?
Yeah, I'd be like, are you for real?
Which apparently is really good.
Yeah,
And
apparently, and
I
like
believe
it's
that
all on
too.
the list. I have the issues. I just haven't read them. Like,
Yeah.
I will get to it when I get to it.
Like we'll continue this common podcast, but I think it helps that this common podcast has turned more into a casual comedy podcast where we do talk about movies and TV shows and video games, and it's not just comic books, but we also we talk about like weird Sonic comics now and
But
like
it's
facts
also
about other
like
stuff.
it's also that our like when I first came on this show, I was reading books that
What?
you guys read that I didn't. I know.
What episode was that?
102, I think, was the first one.
Oh, what?
Just yeah, under the
Oh,
desk.
was it the part where you were just like, ah?
It was the part
You made
where
like a
I
goose noise.
yeah, that okay, yeah, no, it's when I said I'm gonna drop a little truth bomb. It was right around there. Oh God, I hate that guy. But like the thing too, yeah, I was reading books like that you guys were reading so that like we could talk about it. But now like sometimes you guys overlap with books and then sometimes you don't. And like I would love to get on here next week and have a discussion about like Thrawn Alliances or the current Doctor Strange run. But I'm not gonna have that conversation because no one else here gives a fuck currently. And like I don't care about Batman. I don't care about Thor, Aquaman, whatever you're reading. I don't care.
Bro,
And like
DC doesn't care about Aquaman.
yeah, well there you
He hasn't been in
go.
a comic in years.
But like Spider-Man seems cool, but like I have a backlog of characters that actually mean something to me, so I'm probably not going. Oh, that does look pretty good. I'm
It
not gonna
is
lie.
the best thing Marvel's put out since Secret Wars, maybe.
Are you sure?
You like J. Jonah Jameson?
I do like him. I like him and Ben Parker being besties. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I saw that. It's good stuff.
Mhm. They're besties.
They are besties. We love
Yeah.
that.
So you should get into it. Anyways, so that's the other Marvel Studios news from this Hollywood Reporter.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah. At
Yeah,
least
so
now we
so
can
yeah,
call the
that's
episode
why
the
they're changing the name from Kang Dynasty to something else.
yeah. Make
We
it the
don't know
Doom
what.
Dynasty.
I was gonna ask like if they're getting rid of the Kang Dynasty, is Kang just never gonna appear again? He's just gonna be
I
out there in
hope
that
so. Oh, that'd be
universe.
so good.
Where's the Lizard King?
Yeah, where is he? He's the one they bring back because it's not Jonathan Majors. They're like, why
I
are you
hope
not
he's an
listening now?
Agatha. The
I
last
don't know.
thing on this article was Blade is likely going to be pushed back from its November 2025 release date because it's unlikely Marvel will release 4 films that year because Bob Iger wants to slim down.
Hunter. Oh, that's good for him. Does he have a treadmill?
I have him on Nike Rug Club. 50
Yes.
kilometers already this month.
What are you up to? What are you up to for the month? I've been going every
Probably
day.
5.
Yeah, when I say every day, I mean I've been going every day for like the last 6 days, but still.
I went once because the weather was nice.
Remember when we said, JD, you haven't been running? I'm only up to 17K. It's disappointing.
I'm at 5. So,
That's fine. You threatened JD. You said, JD, you haven't run at all. Haha. And he was like, I've been running every day on the treadmill. Just you wait until I log my numbers. And we were like, oh, God.
It's going to log the numbers.
I'm afraid.
Just
fucking scary.
700 kilometers.
Yeah. He's almost at your house.
Yeah, he's on the way. If JD shows up in my house, I want it to be a moment like Under the Red Hood where like Jason and Batman talk in the end of that apartment. And I'm like,
I think it'll be more like when Jesse Pinkman goes to like Gail's house in Breaking Bad and just like it's the shot of the gun like coming around to the
it'll be that, but then it'll cut to like the speech with Batman and Jason. And I'll be like,
no,
why
I hope
JD?
it's no, I hope it's the end of the Killing Joke. I hope you make JD laugh and then he chokes you to death.
No, it's gonna be Under the Red Hood because I have it all set
fine.
up already. I'm just waiting for him to show up already. I'm gonna be like, why in God's name is he still alive? And I'll kick the closet door open and it'll be Caleb. Comic Savior, who was on the show 2 years ago.
2 years, maybe more. It's 2024, brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like 2020 was when
see.
he was on the show.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw Sean's name before, and I was like, "What if? What if we just? What if we just? What if we just brought him on?
It's
probably too
shoot
late.
him a
now,
little
isn't it?
message.
I'd be okay with it.
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 I sent him the screenshot of us discussing that his beard looks fucking cool, and he's posted a photo of him with his beard, and he said, "So I have a beard," and then he's never replied to me. I sent it 3 hours ago.
It looks great.
Do you want me to ask?
I mean, like, I don't want to extend the episode or anything, but if you want, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm smiling.
Okay.
So what happened to Sean? Why is he no longer a host, Harper?
I can give you like the actual reason.
The actual reason is because 4 people was enough for a podcast.
Maybe that is the actual
Even
reason,
if you like look up
Why?
like 2 to 3 people is like a podcast. Like 4 is pushing it, but I think we all work. We don't interrupt each other often or anything like that.
But that's why this is a perfect episode. But it's also because like, you know, when you have a work team, like when you work with people, right?
I do work with people.
Generally, you have a good dynamic with most of them, but there's always going to be like 2 opposite ends of a spectrum. And even though they like each other, the gel doesn't fully gel. We have that.
Different metaphor. The gel doesn't make sense.
The gel doesn't gel. Okay,
that doesn't make sense.
They don't. They're like 2 positive magnets, positively charged magnets.
Okay,
they kind of bounce off.
But if
and we have a person on this show that is very strong and very serious and quite intimidating sometimes, and may or may not slick back his hair. And I think I think him and Sean. I think Sean gets maybe intimidated by him, and I think
the
maybe
chemistry isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the main thing is because we don't want a 5-person.
I love Sean. Sean and I used to
I
argue all the time behind the scenes, and then we became buddies. And now he messages me about every Walking Dead thing, and it's lovely. Oh, I just realized, why did I message him? He's not responding to me. I have to call him.
Ooh. Okay, I'll improv while it's happening. So Blade is likely being delayed.
I can still talk. I'm just also talking to Sean.
I don't think Blade. I have a feeling Blade might not happen.
Are you going to join the fucking podcast or not?
I'm on it.
Join the podcast.
I'm on it.
Like you're recording?
Yeah, we're recording. We're talking about you and your beard. And I was like, why don't we bring you on? I mean, we've been going for 50 minutes, but still, if you want to join for like last 20. He's watching The Bad Batch.
This is the Batman.
Hunter will send you a link or something, maybe. I don't know how this works. Goodbye,
I
Sean.
don't either. I was just looking down.
He's already hung up. He's already gone.
I don't know how to send him this.
Email him. Just do you have his email?
Okay.
I
Oh yeah,
assume?
yeah, I do.
I love how much of a roadblock this is. I've kind of missed Sean.
It's been a long time.
Well, we
Remember?
can't like we can't have Sean on when it's Tyler, JD, you, and I. It becomes like a nightmare. If one of us or two of us is missing, it kind of gels well. Except for that episode where you had you, Drew, and Sean. That blew my mind when I found out about that.
Mhm.
I
I
thought it was
agree.
you for the whole episode, and then I skimmed and I saw Sean in a Deadpool mask, and I was like, "What is happening here?"
That was
For
my
audio listeners,
solo show.
Hunter is very he looks like he's absolutely struggling to figure out how to send this
I
link.
just sent it. I was just trying to find his
Yes.
email. So I was like,
I'm gonna confront him on why he has not responded to my thing about the beard. I'm a bit upset about that.
yeah, it's been a yeah, it has. I haven't talked to him in a while. Remember, I think it was the Batman. You saw
The
it first because you're in Australia, and then Sean saw it, and then I saw it, and then thank you, and then sorry, Chelsea just brought me cookies.
I was gonna
I
say you
lost
just
my
got
train of
delivered.
thought. Yeah,
Oh,
thank
the
you, Chelsea.
cookies! What the fuck?
I think you saw it, then Sean saw it, then I saw it. And so I called you both after I saw it. And I think Sean had just got out and you had just got out fairly recently because it was like the same day
Oh
as you. And we were all
yes.
like freaking out over the phone.
Oh, you have that photo. I'm Fat Harper still in that photo. That's
You
right.
are. But we're just like,
Yeah,
remember that
I'm
time when like
damn.
that
What was
was
that?
fun.
Mid 2022?
That also
End of
happened with
2020?
No Way Home, I think. We
No
also
Way Home, we did. Yeah, that was
yeah.
and we were like, we want to talk about it on the on the podcast, but we couldn't help but like talk about it beforehand and been like, dude, that was the fucking coolest thing I've ever seen.
So
I mainly
sorry, you go. You go.
I was just gonna say I mainly just want to pick Sean's brain about the comic book industry question because I find that fascinating.
I want to ask him about his job that he left.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He was a reporter for CBR Comics, and he's no
Yeah,
longer a reporter for
he
CBR
just chose not to.
Comics.
But it was almost like the way he spoke, he was like, I disagree with the way they handle things, and I'm choosing to leave because I have a genuine disagreement. And I think that if that's the reason why, that is based as fuck.
I do
That's
know
so,
I kind of know the reason why.
is that the reason?
It's
Is it like
basically the
disagree?
reason, yeah. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
more to it, of course.
I think that's based as fuck. And I think that was good for him too, because he would come on the show and want to give opinions, but he's like, I can't fully because I have
Mhm.
to like do this and it's work and blah blah blah. And that would suck. To
Yeah.
not be fuck this is terrible, and whoever made it did a real bad job, because he might have to like, I don't know, interact in some way. Like that's a lot.
And CBR has fallen down a lot. CBR, they freaking
CBR was always bad though.
they posted on their Instagram because this young girl who plays Maria Robotnik in the upcoming Sonic movie,
Oh,
the blonde
God.
girl who's gonna get shot in the head, she posted a photo of her looking like she's in a body bag, confirming that she's Maria. And
Right.
CBR posted that being like, oh, she confirmed with a picture of fan art of her as a hedgehog from like those on Tumblr from like 2006. Like they
What?
don't know who Maria is. So they just posted this
Oh.
like fan art. It's like Maria's a human, guys. Like,
Mm.
so a lot of comments were
Mm.
asking why you're posting fan art instead of like the character, what they look like. So
It's
yeah.
because it's like Screen Rant. I think Screen Rant is like the
Oh
worst.
yeah.
They're just like, just bomb it.
Yeah.
Not physically bomb it, but the website, get rid of it. Like bomb the website.
Yeah. I do have more news here. Oh,
Okay.
I do like Pitch Meetings, which was by Screen, which I send
Yeah.
you
Okay.
sometimes and
Yeah,
you don't
and
get back.
I like Shane and Ryan from BuzzFeed, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
BuzzFeed.
you were freaking out at the Five Nights at Freddy's movie or the Ant-Man movie. I don't,
Yes,
I'm gonna say
Ant-Man movie
real
started.
quick, so there's more context to that. I don't like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not a fan of them or anything, but as a joke, my friends and I we went dressed up in suits and tuxedos to the Five Nights at Freddy's movie day one, and when we walked in, there was another group also in suits that were like our
Oh,
age, like adults, and just like, "Do you guys like this stuff?" We're like, "No," and then they all just fist bumped, which was
that's
really funny.
awesome.
But
That is fucking awesome.
yeah, we went in and there's a cameo of Matt Pat, who's the game theory
He
YouTuber.
isn't. Yeah.
Like that's just a theory. So he shows up, right? and you can hear people in the audience gasping, like, that's
There's
Matt
Matt
Pat,
Pat.
right? And then
Sure
a
hope he
friend,
doesn't quit YouTube next month.
one of the other guys in the suits, after like this is a solid like 10 seconds after Matt Pat appeared, and people have like done gasping, he goes, "Let's go!" And the whole theater just erupted into a cheer for like a solid 30 seconds. People were standing and clapping.
Let's go. That's
It
amazing.
was probably the funniest theater experience I've ever had. Like I was crying laughing.
Awesome. Have you ever made a theater of people laugh?
Maybe as like a teenager.
I did when I was young, what I would have been like what 18 or something. Granted, it was there were not a lot of people in this theater because of the movie that it was. But when it got to the end of this movie, and Miles Teller goes, "Say that again," and then the thing goes, "It's fantastic." I went, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It was the exact thing that I said for fucking Star Wars. And it was like me and two friends, and then the people around us were just like quietly giggling at how bad it was.
You saw Fan Four Stick in theaters?
Saw Fan Force. I think we saw it the day it came out, bro. Yeah. And
I
it was
can't-
just like the whole time, like anything would happen, and we'd go like, "Oh man," like it was so bad.
that whole movie takes place in a lab. They don't leave.
It's so bad. No, remember they drop the rock, not the rock. What's his name? The thing.
Thing?
They drop the thing from a plane.
No, they
something.
don't. That's
No, they
the-
don't. That's not in
that's
the
in the
movie in the end, is
trailer.
it? That's
It shows him
right.
jumping into what looks like a prison yard.
But
Like,
he does.
this looks cool. And then
Mr. Fantastic does make his face look like a different face and then shake his face so it looks like his face again.
That happened in the original too, I think.
Okay, well, whatever.
That's a incredible, incredible movie. I
Yeah.
actually, to defend one scene of Fan Four Stick, when they first get their powers, it's shot very much like a horror movie, and I like that.
Yeah. What do you think of
Johnny's on
Doom's
fire
design?
and he's screaming, and like Mr. Fantastic's all like stretched. Yeah, Doom, he looks bad.
He looks bad.
Nothing else to it. He looks bad.
Oh,
I do have more like interesting news here. Spider-Man 2 is getting an update on March 7th.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah.
They are adding quite a bit, but also not that much. So I'll get the full list here, but it's kind
They're
of
adding the
strange how-
shit that they needed to add from the get-go.
Yeah. An odd thing
Are
is
you-
what they're
That's
doing with it. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's bad.
crazy.
So I have a list of everything they're adding, which isn't that much. It's stuff that is good, but don't expect too much. I say don't get too hyped because Insomniac has been hyping this up way too much. I saw a reel today of a guy sitting on his bed saying, "I'm gonna end it all," when you're so depressed that you just want to die. And then he looks and a bright light hits him, a light of hope, and it's the March 7th update for Spider-Man. And it's like that's what's keeping him going.
What are you talking about?
Insomnia. Sorry, it's like a reel like, "Oh, I'm so
Oh, it's
depressed."
a reel someone posted, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, "Oh, I'm so depressed." And oh wait, but I'm not depressed because Spider-Man update's almost here. And Insomniac commented, being like, "We got you, bro." But
What the fuck?
this isn't DLC, guys.
We're saving
People are
from
acting like this is a
suicide because
new
of the
game.
update. That's crazy.
So here's everything
yeah, I mean,
that's being added here.
they're just doing what they should have done from the get-go, really.
New Game Plus, so you can replay the
Yeah.
game using your skills that you have and suits that you have. A trophy for New Game Plus. Whoa! You can now change the time of day, something that both games had at launch.
That's the most important thing. Why it wasn't there, I have no idea.
I just want to.
Why don't they
swing at
just have a
night.
day and night cycle? That's I love that. Feels real. Do you know how much I love in Red Dead Redemption when I'm running around that stupid ass map and then like the sun starts going down and I'm like, I gotta hunker down for the night, otherwise the swamp folk are gonna stab me. Like that. I love that.
Is that
I
in
love
real life or
sleeping
Red
through the
Dead?
night, waking up in the morning. Like Red Dead is more my life than my actual life is. Like I
Swamp
want
people.
that. The swamp
Sure.
people are gonna stab me. Like, let me have my time.
Replayable missions, so you can go mission.
He's in the
select and
waiting
choose.
room.
I'm gonna finish this part first,
Oh, okay.
so then we don't get sidetracked again. Ultimate levels, so like a harder difficulty.
Okay.
Golden gadget styles. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Golden gadget styles.
I guess your gadgets are gold.
Okay.
Okay. Suit styles for several of Peter Symbiote's story suits. I don't know what that means either.
Suit styles. Does that mean you can change the color of the webbing and stuff?
That'd be cool. Because the
That
next
would
one
be
is
cool.
change symbiote color. So like if you're anti-venom, it's white. If you're just regular, because when you beat the game and you play like Black Suit, your venom moves are still anti-venom white.
Yeah. I hate that. That annoyed
That
the shit out of me too.
bothered me
Yeah,
so
it bothered me
much.
massively. Also, can like we just say that all the Venom stuff in that game looks like absolute garbage?
What
Like
else?
the
What would you do
textures on the
differently?
tendrils,
Oh,
like it looks so
it's a
bad. It
little. It
looks
looks like
bad.
there's little dots on it.
It looks like it's pixelated. It looks
Yeah.
like it's Aliens Colonial Marines, my favorite game of all time, game of the year 2013.
They're adding Hellfire Gala suits to Peter and Miles, which they posted photos of. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it looks cool. I don't know if I'd use them.
Yeah, like suits are not the no.
Yeah. Action figure photo mode, which means you can shrink your character down and like put them on like a post or something. So when you're in photo mode, you could shrink.
Okay.
So it's like an action figure.
Okay.
More stickers in photo mode. Now that's worth it. That's why the guy's not depressed anymore. Audio descriptions for accessibility options and like screaming or stuff like that. And then there's a charity called Gameheads Flying Fresh, which they designed two suits for Peter Miles, a suit for Peter, a suit for Miles. It's $5, but it's for charity. So
Oh, okay. That's fair.
all the money goes towards charity. But
Okay.
yeah,
That is fair.
it's just colorful Spider-Man suits.
Man,
And
what the
that's
fuck?
literally it.
Did we have DLC for the first game like by now, like comparatively?
I think like a month, one more month than we would have.
Okay.
It was like
Fuck,
6
so
months. Yeah.
we're not getting shit anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know if Carnage is going to be in this or not, but ladies and gentlemen, Sean Griffin.
Here he is, the man himself.
I said that way too soon.
To show up for like the last fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Show me the beard. All right, listen here, motherfucker. Listen here. Listen here. I complimented you. I showed us the boys complimenting you. Why did you not respond to my message about the beard?
What do you mean I responded to your message about the
No.
beard, didn't I?
No. Look again, Sean. Griffin.
There's a thing here at 6 o'clock. You have to admit the beard is good for him. Yeah, that was the thing. I looked in the mirror, literally like the Ultimate Spider-Man #1, and was like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, you do. You look aged,
do
but
look
you look
older.
wise beyond your years. Like you.
Right.
Yeah. This is excellent.
Your backdrop
Yeah.
too looks
Everybody on this call has
Yeah.
a beard now.
That
This is
backdrop
like-
has been waiting for like an episode where it was just Hunter and I so that you could get back on. Like that backdrop is look at this.
Are we talking about my backdrop, Hunters? Whose?
yours.
Yours. Mine is a
Oh, yeah,
bookshelf
so-
it's not mine.
Yeah, so this is the bookshelf that I built last fall. So I got all my trades. This is just kind of the random shelf. I got a decanter over there.
Show me the bat. Show me Lucille. He bought this when he was drunk, ladies and gentlemen. I can attest to this.
I had a glass
Whoa.
of scotch to the finally I went. It's time.
I'm going to
How
tell
much?
you,
How
Sean,
much?
since becoming a whiskey man myself, I have not bought anything while heavily intoxicated at all.
Like I know, Sean, how much you pay for that bat?
I remember I sent Harper the price. It actually wasn't bad. It was like
It wasn't
think
bad at all.
60.
It was,
It was like
Yeah, it
60
wasn't bad
bucks
at
for the bat, and it's real barbed wire and everything.
yeah.
Oh, so you could use it.
When the zombies come, I got them covered.
No, you're going to line us up. The Hero Story episode
my
100.
my brother is in one of the Walking Dead locales, so I'll just walk up and be like, little pig.
Little pig, let me. Oh, Sean, do you want to see what I got today, bro?
Was it a new hot toy?
It's from an anime called Tokyo Ghoul, I think.
What's that, Sean?
Harper's into anime now? Oh, he got the Rick Grimes season 7.
Oh boy, there he is. Look at him, the boy. Woo!
Wow. Now, did it come with the weapons, or you added those separate?
Go! No, it came with him. Okay, look, he's
Okay.
got his axe.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And
Are
that's
you
from
excited
what
for the?
company is that? Because that's not Hot Toys. It's the one that
This
you
is
talked about.
three. This is 3-0, but they do own the license for Walking Dead. Although I feel like this is going to be their last figure. I feel like it's gonna.
Well, have they done a Negan figure?
They have done an E, and they did it many years ago now, though, so it doesn't look
Okay.
as
Or
good
probably
as this.
when Jeffrey D.
I
Morgan
have
first
I
joined.
have a Negan Funko. that's
Ugh,
that's the
Okay.
extent.
Ah, Sean.
I
That's
just got a
bigger
Grand
than
Admiral Thrawn one too.
Oh, hey, I have those too. Which one did you get? The Ahsoka one or the animated one?
I got the Rebels one because I don't like that the Ahsoka one is a lighter shade of blue. I'm becoming really nitpicky.
I don't like that. Even though he has them in the show, that Funko Pop does not have the ridges. It's just flat. That annoys me.
Yeah.
Sean, did I tell you my partner is reading Thrawn right now? Like she's reading
Oh,
the first book.
what are they on?
They're like, um,
Because
they're
I
up to the
finished the
part.
original. Let me not cut you off. What were you saying?
No, you're fine. They're up to the. She was like, currently Thrawn and Eli are discussing the ethics of like a card game in the Star Wars universe. I went, yep, cool, excellent. I know where you're at.
Early on in the first Thrawn book, then, or at
Yeah,
least
it's like
the
she's
new
like it's like
continuity one.
it's probably like a quarter of the way through the first book. But yeah, I've
Yeah.
hooked. Because I made her watch. I made her watch Clone. I watched some of Clone Wars, then Revenge of the Sith, and then a bunch of Rebels, and then Rogue One, and then the original trilogy, and then 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, and then Ahsoka.
Nice.
And I was like, here he
I
comes. Here's my
finished-
boy.
So I finished the original Thrawn trilogy, or at least the new continuity one. So I read Thrawn. Well, I did
Alliances and
audiobook because
treason.
I do it while I'm driving to work. So
Yes.
I did
No.
Thrawn,
Sean, the audiobooks, Mark Thompson, the fucking
Thompson's
those audiobooks
awesome.
are the greatest thing produced in Star Wars.
Sean's
They're
just
the fucking
reading while
best.
driving.
Hunter, you got to start listening to these audiobooks.
You gotta,
They're
bro,
so
they-
good.
I listen to audio podcasts where it's like stories, so but they're like
all
only like an hour.
podcasts are audio. What are you
Really?
No, I
saying?
mean like
Hunter,
stories, but they're like an
listen to
hour
a
long.
podcast as you're recording a podcast right now.
Okay, I mean like I listen to one called Knife Point Horror, and it's just like short horror stories that are like an hour long, and that's it.
Yeah,
You know,
but I
any
did a lot-
story, any horror story I write is a short horror story.
I did Alliances.
Anyway.
I did Treason. I love Treason where he has the face down with a Grand Admiral Savit.
It's so
just
good,
want-
and I mean,
just
you can
wanted a
call
closer
that.
look at the battle to come. Like
It's
just
so good.
he's so
You know that Savit is the dude that's behind the whole thing, like the entire time, and waiting for that reveal, like Grand Admiral on Grand Admiral is so good. Thrawn going to his Star Destroyer, him like holding him at gunpoint, and Thrawn just being like calmly like, this is not
only for the 12 Grand Admirals. Like
it's so good. It's so
I-
fucking
I-
good.
That's what I like listening to this podcast is like hearing what you all love, because like I heard Harper like talking how awesome Thrawn is, and then finally I'm like, I gotta understand what's so cool about this guy.
I was gonna say,
And
I
then-
feel
so
like
good about the blue
JD and I
guy.
JD and I talking about The Walking Dead is like why you started like getting on The Walking Dead as well.
Well,
Like,
it was that and interviewing Kirkman. Finally, I interviewed Kirkman, and I'm like, I
well,
gotta
okay,
read more
fucking brag
about
about
this.
it.
You
Fucking
gotta
asshole,
read
this
what he's
fucking
known
guy.
for.
And as you could tell, I'm now obsessed.
Yeah, I
So
know. I'm very glad.
I'm
by
on
that.
season 10 of the show. I don't think the show is all
Stop.
that.
Stop
Stop.
there. Stop when
Yeah.
Rick leaves. Stop it
Well,
and don't watch
I'm
the
trying
rest.
to get to when Michonne leaves so that I'll understand the ones who live
You
better.
don't need, but you don't need to. You can
They'll
just
probably
go.
just do a recap.
Yeah, just watch the final what's the word, 5 minutes or whatever of the finale.
Although,
Or
did
you just
get?
look
Are
up
you
like
up
an
to the?
8-minute YouTube video.
Are you up to
Yeah.
the episode? Here's Negan, because you would. you
No,
would like-
that's I think I'm early into season 10, so like I think it's
It's right at
still
the end,
whispers, and they just like the satellite just exploded. I'm early on.
Why do the fucking whisperers without? Anyway, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like Sean, the pikes on the heads on pikes scene.
Yeah, I had.
You know
I had
how
a
like in the
buddy
comic,
call-
it's like it's like the last really
characters.
jaw-dropping monumental, like oh my
yeah,
god,
it's the
before
close
like
to Omnibus 3.
yeah, and it's like the show. I'm like, oh, okay,
Well, that
Cool.
was the funny thing. I have a buddy, Jared, and I was talking to him about watching the show because he had also seen it, and he said he goes, yeah, some characters end up filling in the place of other characters. So like
Mm.
Michonne fills in for Andrea and
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
And then I was like, well, the Whisperers are starting to come in where I'm at now. So like they're gonna do the heads on the pikes thing, right? And he goes, yeah, but it's all gonna be characters that you're not gonna care.
Yeah,
Tommy."
exactly. Yeah. It's like
I was like,
panning across. The biggest character in that lineup is a character that I didn't like. So it gets to that reveal, and I'm just like, okay, like I don't like
yeah,
it
it's
anyway.
it's their Carl fill in, and it's like, oh, I guess
Oh, that
he
is I
died.
think that is the biggest mistake in television history. I truly believe
Killing
that
Carl.
killing Carl is the
Well,
biggest
that was the
mistake a
thing.
TV show's
One
ever
person
made.
told me it's because he wanted to go to college, and then
It's
I
not.
was reading up on it, and it's
No.
like, no,
No.
they just decided to kill him.
Yeah, and
It's
it's because he moved like close to the set and was like ready to keep going. And then it was like Scott Gimple was like, no, we're gonna kill you off. And the reasoning was because we need a reason for Rick to not want to like kill Negan, and we need it to be Carl's dying wishes, like, hey, don't kill each other, be
I thought
friends.
that was so weird.
It is so weird
There's
because
other
I don't
ways
know if
to
Scott
do that.
Gimple, I don't know if Scott Gimple knows this, but there's actually a comic book series called The Walking Dead where that doesn't happen, and you could just
Yeah.
adapt that and it would be fine. But anyway,
Well,
whatever.
it was fun, and that's why I'm happy I read all the comics before watching the show. Because
I think, yeah, I agree.
I didn't picture the actors while reading the series, so I basically had my own interpretations of them. But on top of it, it was funny because then when watching the show, like when Sophia dies in like early
Yes.
season 2, I was like, man, this is gonna mess up issue 193. Like they
Yeah, exactly. Like the
Fuck.
difference there, Sophia, a character that gets like turns into a zombie as a girl and dies in season 2, in the comics is Carl's wife when he's like 45. Like it's so different. Like couldn't be more different. It's so, man, that last issue is the best thing ever written. It is the best thing.
I
ever
have
written.
it. I got the back issue. I picked it
It's
up.
so good. It's so
Oh,
good.
you want to
Get
see what I
that-
got? Hold on. So this
Oh,
is
here
the
we go.
thing that they sent to me damaged.
Hunter, remember when I said to you that I wanted Sean to talk about the comic book industry, and now we're just talking about the things that I don't get to talk to you about? Why is it so large?
Well, that's the thing. I thought I ordered a poster, and then
But is it just the
comes, and it's a giant copy of Walking
Fuck.
Dead number 100.
Why is it just massive? Sit that on your shelf. Can you compare that to
massive
like an
book.
actual issue that you have somewhere?
Yeah, I got a bin over here. Let me pull a random.
I've got a bin.
Okay, so I'm about to pull out a random issue. I have no idea what it's going to be.
Red
Okay,
Hood,
it's
Red
gonna
Hood,
be
Red Hood.
Red Hood. Is it Red Hood?
Teen
Titans Academy.
I thought that series existed.
All right, but comparison.
Okay, compare them, please. What
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck?
I thought it was a poster.
50% larger. I feel like moderately bad for poor Hunter because like
Sometimes
this
it's
is
good when books are big.
maybe Sean, maybe this is why I fought so hard earlier for you to be on this, because I need someone who understands the things I like and I can talk to about
I
them. And
don't
you're
understand
that guy.
anything about Harper.
But like,
Well, I haven't
like,
read this week's Ultimate Spider-Man yet. I
have never
remember
ever.
when I did that post at the start of the year, being like, my goal is to read 1,000 comics.
Yeah, no, no.
I've been so busy with work, I've read 6.
It's been 2 months. Yeah. Sean, you're only 196
You
behind,
got
or
this.
94 behind the ball.
Yeah. I think I read like 5 issues of Invincible and then the first issue of Ultimate Spider-Man, and that's where I'm at.
Hey,
I've
you're
read
doing
I'm
good.
happy.
Thrawn-
I'm happy
read
though that
Thrawn
it looks like I've
Alliance's
read
issue
past
1.
where season 2 is going to end for Invincible,
Yeah.
so that's good. Oh,
I
The
thought-
Boys. The Boys is coming out this year too,
Oh, The
Harper.
Boys is coming out. Wow, congratulations to The Boys.
Oh, you want to know what's
for
funny? I
all of
thought
them.
about
Joking
you
never
guys
gets
when
old.
I read the issue What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way. In that issue, remember how you guys had that whole discussion of like, it's 2023, we can just call him Manchester as opposed to
Oh, yeah,
Manchester
yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
In that issue, Superman literally calls Manchester Black Chester.
What?
I was reading it, and at the end, he literally is taunting Manchester Black, and he just goes, "Listen here, Chester," and I was like, "Oh my god,
What the? Oh my god.
Superman ahead of his
Superman, all right.
time."
Yeah, Superman, all right.
I have never. I haven't. I love TV show Rick, but I have never read comic book Rick with the gotta go back to Lori, back to Carl. I've never once in my life.
Man, stop acting like you know the way ahead,
Wait,
like you
hey,
know
like
the
you know the
rules.
rules. There
There
are
are no rules,
We're
man. We're
lost.
lost.
Good meme.
It's
What
just
is our
so
time,
good.
Hunter?
What?
What is our time? What is our time?
It's 7 hours, man.
Actually, because I want to get this last bit in.
1 hour, 12 minutes.
Excellent. Okay, Sean, we before you came on, we were talking comic book industry stuff, right? The death of the comic book industry. How do you potentially fix it? How do you pay writers and artists more? How do you make comics make more money without like raising the prices on them? Because if you make it more than like $15, no one is ever fucking reading comic books ever. Thoughts? Give them to me.
Because well, for a bit more context, because like
No
comics
context,
are
go.
kind of comics are kind of going lower and lower every year, which is odd because
Yeah.
like Endgame made $2 billion or something like that. So there are books like Ultimate Spider-Man where it's selling out all the time, and like James Gunn hypes up Supergirl and that sells out. But how many people do you know in real life that are reading comics?
I mean, I think because there's been those issues that you have discussed extensively on this podcast of like DC printing 75% of their books being Batman and
Mhm.
everything. So, I mean, in my mind, this is off the top of my head, and I'm not qualified to like weigh in on this, but the way I would view it is I like what James Gunn is doing, where it's like, especially like DC socials now, like I just saw today they posted like Superman racing the Flash. Like they're
Yeah, I
actually
saw
like
that.
putting a emphasis on comics, and like anytime you see a trailer come out, it says read where it all started. Although it was a
Yeah.
little weird when the Blue Beetle movie was coming out, and it's like read where it all started. Blue Beetle Graduation Day, the 6 issue series that just came out.
Just
Yeah.
came out. Yeah, exactly.
But like I think I don't know, because you also had the conversation once on here of like I can't wait for the MCU to be over and comic books are just for comic book fans again.
Mm.
And so I question if it's an issue of there's too much quantity being pumped out, because like another thing you have said on this podcast, which shows I still listen.
Yeah.
The
Do you
like
still do the
Marvel will
timestamps
give
though?
anybody a series. Like Gwen, Spider Gwen has had like I think 4 or 5 issue minis in like the last 2 years alone. Like it just they
It's
pump out
constant.
all these books and series, and like how many people are actually reading them and how many are actually going into the back issue bin. So at least my 2 cents is if you're going to want to save the industry, you have to dial it back and rebuild it. So like
Mm.
I think you also mentioned this recently of like, if you do the James Gunn thing where you build the fan love and base for the movies, and then you can redirect them into the comics. And if there's a small enough, sampling, if you will, to get the comics, I feel like that would make sense, because that's the whole logic that Kirkman and Skybound has going right now with the Energon universe. Because the way they described it is they're like, listen, we're not going to be doing 20 titles and everything. You're going to have, two or no, it's four miniseries, and then you're going to have Transformers, and you're going to have Void Rivals, and that's it. This way, you don't have to break the bank. You can follow along. You're basically going to be buying maybe like 2 or 3 issues a month, and that's it. And
It's
this
like the
way,
new Ultimate Universe for Marvel. Like it's Ultimate
exactly. And now
Universe,
there's
but
those
light.
rumors of
Keep
the
it small.
DC Ultimate Universe that they may
That's
be
right.
doing.
Yeah.
But also, at the end of the day, for the new Ultimate Marvel Universe, are let me pose the question to the both of you. Are you going to pick up more titles than just Ultimate
Oh, he's
Spider-Man?
not. He's not.
I was going to say, do you think that I've picked up Ultimate Spider-Man? Like,
It
It's like,
depends on the character for me. Like Spider-Man, absolutely. I don't have too much of an interest in Black Panther or Moon Knight, so I'm not picking up Black Panther. X-Men,
you don't
it's
have an
only
interest in Moon
focused on.
Knight?
I Not
I was
as
gonna say,
not
is
not
it?
as
Number
Didn't
one
you
Moon
claim
Knight
at one
fan in
point
the
to be
world
Moon Knight's
doesn't
biggest
want to read
fan?
about Ultimate
Yeah.
Moon Knight?
It's more so Ultimate Moon Knight has a cool idea where it's not just one guy, it's an army of people that go by Moon Knight. I think that's cool.
Mm.
I don't want to pay for it. So I'm not gonna like I'm at a point in my life right now where I gotta budget myself with these
Yeah, I
comics.
mean,
Yeah,
you're
aren't you
barely
moving?
surviving, I suppose.
Yeah. So if I'm gonna read something, it's like this needs to be like something that I would love, like such a good idea or something like that. So if they make like an Ultimates or an Ultimate Avengers, I'll get that because did you read Ultimate Universe and like Ultimate Invasion?
I have read I think 3 out of the 4 issues of Ultimate Invasion. I haven't read the one shot
Okay.
yet, Ultimate Universe.
Well, those 4 issues in that one shot, it's like one of the coolest things I've read in so long. I want to see that
Yeah.
story continue so badly. So wherever
Mhm.
that story continues, where it's about Tony Stark and Reed Richards,
Mm.
wherever they
Mm.
appear, I'll get. So if there's an Ultimate Iron Man, I'll get that. If there's Ultimate Mr. Fantastic, I guess, because the Fantastic Four don't exist, I'll get that because I want to see that
Yeah.
story continue. But right now, just Spider-Man, like if they make an Ultimate Captain America, maybe. It depends on the writer, it depends on the team, it depends on the pitch.
Ultimate X-Men, you picking that one up?
No, because I love Armor as a character. She's actually one of my favorite mutants, but I don't want a whole story about her in high school.
Well, my issue with that series is just like for me, there are a few art styles that I just can't read. Like I love them on covers. Like Alex Ross, believe it or not, is one of those artists. Like I love his cover art, but like when I first read Kingdom Come, it was overwhelming for me, which is a bit of a hot
Oh,
take, I think.
overwhelming makes sense after opening this.
Yeah, I was about to say, I actually
What are you holding
agree
up?
with
Is
you.
that New Frontier?
This
No,
is
it's the
Full
Fantastic
Circle,
Four.
Oh, okay.
which is
But
incredible, but Alex
It
Ross
does look
does
hard as
every
fuck.
single page.
Sean,
It
yeah,
does get
Sean,
it gets
I-
overwhelming for me because of like I'm used to like for me the comic detail that I love is like Marco Cicchetto and like Ryan Stegman. Like I love that style, but like to get into the hyper realistic, I don't know that messes with me. Same with like the hyper creative. Like I'm not a fan of Riley Rossmo on
yeah.
interiors. So it's like that's like a just a thing for me. So like Peach Momoko doing the full art, like I feel like that would be overwhelming for me
because
to
it's
read.
all watercolor and
Mm.
Yeah.
simplistic, but also kind of like an anime manga
But
look.
like someone like Harper, I know you loved Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise,
I loved it.
like, and that's a can I do that?
Penny.
No, I think
doesn't
are you on an
Oh.
iPad or a phone?
Yeah, it doesn't work for
I
me
think if
either.
you're on a computer with a webcam, it doesn't do it. But yeah, so that's the thing. I get overwhelmed.
I
No,
get that,
I think
yeah.
that's fair.
What
You're
was the
more a
original question?
traditional. The original question was out of Thrawn, alliances, and treason, how would you rank them? Go.
That wasn't the original
Oh, out of all
question.
three?
Rank them. Go.
Um, Thrawn is the
Correct.
best.
Correct.
I'm torn on alliances and treason because I like Vader in alliances,
Mm.
but I feel like treason's the better story.
I agree. Treason is the better story, even though the other one is literally a split narrative between my two like faves.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
Treason
know
is the
what
better book.
really bothered me with alliances was that you lost a lot of the internal dialogue of
You did.
Thrawn.
He doesn't.
Like
He
that
doesn't
was the
have
most
any of his. He doesn't have any of his face holds contempt. Like there's none of that. It's like
his facial muscles intensify and
his
facial
face
heat
has
increases.
stiffened.
Yeah, like but I will say the best like alliances I feel like would take the second place though just because of that epilogue where
Mm.
and like there's the little things where Thrawn said there's that one moment where he's like I told you that we should be concerned about the purpose for the armor and then Vader's like you said no such thing to me and it's
And
like
it's like, yeah, I did when we were last here. Yeah.
my apologies I was thinking of a memory and then in
Yeah.
the epilogue it's like he does the full on like you know he knows but he doesn't say exactly like I know you're
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker and I also just love that closing of Vader being like what is it he says he goes I do not want to hear you say the name Anakin Skywalker ever again. And he goes, very well, my lord, but I will never stop fighting for his legacy. It's like, oh my
It's
god,
good. It's
so
fucking hard
good.
as fuck. Yeah, he's best.
Yeah.
I love, dude. I'm reading Ants of the Empire again. By the way, I'm like halfway through it, and Thrawn has a line in that where he's like about to intersect Luke Skywalker, and he turns to Pelion and he goes, "We'll either capture him or maybe we'll just kill him." And I'm like, man, like he has come such a long way as a character in canon because like Timothy Zahn. I mean, the three that you've read, he's like balancing in the middle
Well,
between good guy but in the Empire. The like ascendancy books and
so
Outbound
I
Flight.
started the first Ascendancy book because
It's the fucking
I
best.
was listening to Ahsoka, and I just was
Mm,
like, this is good, but like I miss Thrawn.
mm.
So I went, you know what, let me go to the Ascendancy, the first book, and it's awesome. I
It's
thought I was
brilliant.
gonna
It's
like not
brilliant.
care for it because
No,
it's not the Empire, but it's so
no,
good. And
it's
the
better
the
than that.
chapter
It's
I listened
better
to
than the two.
recently that I loved is when he takes Aralani out on like a
A
date.
date. I know. I was like, what?
And the funniest thing is like Aralani's like saying, she's like, yeah, I thought we'd, go get food or dancing or something, but you take me to the goddamn art museum.
Yeah,
And
you take
then
me to the
and then
gallery.
like he I just loved how like Thrawn was kind of like nerding out, being like, well, look at the art. It's so
It's like, yeah,
good.
the only way that he can flirt with someone is to be like, have a look at this painting.
Yeah. And
And then try
and
and
then
carve him
like
down.
it got kind of like, I don't know if spicy is the word to
Hunter is in
use, but
hell.
when
Look at him.
she's
He's
like,
taking a
why
photo
don't
of
you
us
come
about to
back
say
to my
like, look,
What'd you say?
Hunter is taking a photo of us to be like, I am in hell. Please send
I'm
help.
not.
Like,
I'm not.
Two
you're
bearded
sending it
guys
to the
with
group chat
glasses
or
are talking
something.
I
about
just. I
throwing help
don't.
me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is the
Now
first
you
time
hold on,
Hunter
hold on.
doesn't have something to say. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Hunter. Now you know how poor JD feels when like
This is
two people on this
Oh, I
call
got this.
are just
I
going
could be him. Okay, continue.
That's the thing. But like JD will like be sitting on one of these calls, and like two people will just be talking rapid fire back and forth, whether it's you and
Yeah.
Harper or Harper and Tyler. And JD will just be sitting there like,
His
uh,
face is just.
but but no, I love how like there's that one moment where then it's you start to think it's gonna go in one direction, and it's like because Arlani's like, well, you can come back to my place. And then Thrawn's
Mm.
like, wait, what? And then she goes,
Yeah.
because I have art. And then we're going to beat the crap out of each
Then we're gonna
other in
fight in a
sparring.
dojo. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're gonna
And I
beat each
remember
other with
listening to that
sticks.
being like, oh, that went in a different direction than it sounded like it was
Good
going to
stuff. That
go.
book is good. That first book is excellent. The third book is excellent, and the second book is pretty good.
Okay.
I
Third one
have,
is
Yeah,
great.
the character's awesome. I love Thrawn. I
Yes, Hunter.
understand the obsession now.
there's
You are
one,
welcome, I think.
There is. I'm gonna hijack this. There's one more bit of like superhero news, and it's the biggest one that happened this week. And Sean, you're here for this. Batman
He's gonna end
Beyond.
it.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my
So what was
god.
the deal? It was a denied pitch. Who released the art? It was the people who pitched it, right?
Yes. So this is only two people did this. It was getting the names here. Yuki Demers, and who is the artist of the visual development artist leader on both Spider-Verse movies. He worked with a director named Patrick Harpin, who does children's animated movies, and he also writes. Yeah, Harpin, not Harper.
No.
So Patrick Harpin came to Yuki and said, "Hey, you're making these Spider-Verse movies. They're amazing. I want to work with you on a Batman Beyond movie." And he said, Yuki was like, "Yes, let me like talk to my team about this and everything, the Spider-Verse team." And someone might have leaked this because about a year and a half ago, we got a rumor of a Batman Beyond animated movie, and that's the one that we're
Was it
speaking
Rob
about.
Liefeld?
Probably Rob Liefeld.
It's probably fucking Rob
I
Liefeld.
can't believe
yeah.
he leaked the Ninja Turtle stuff recently too. Like he's such an asshole.
Yeah, no, he's an actual dick. Rob
Like,
Liefeld, come on
yeah.
the show. and then come on the show.
Just trying to think of
Oh.
a joke.
It'll be the trial of Rob Liefeld as opposed to the trial of Hunter Murray.
Like
Oh,
Rob
that's
Liefeld was on a
excellent.
podcast.
Wow, look at Hunter throwing out the fucking names of episodes like from a year ago. That's
Like,
the trial of Hunter
Rob
Murray.
was on there. He's just like, yeah. So yeah, their IDW is canceling Ninja Turtles just to have Jason Aaron write it, and that wasn't even announced yet. And then Jason Aaron announced suddenly, like, hey, I'm on Ninja Turtles, guys.
What the fuck?
Like, why would
Why
you
is he
do
such
that?
a tool? He's such a tool.
Yeah, it's like, oh, why would you put them on podcast? But I mean, like, scoops. You get scoops.
Well, I mean,
Scoops.
Robert Kirkman said that Steven Yeun was like suiting up as Sentry.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
now
that's
he's
right.
not.
Now he's
No, he's
not.
not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this whole Batman Beyond thing, yeah. So it was a rumor for a while, but then it was in September. This wasn't like official or anything. In September, both Patrick and Ewan, they went to Warner Brothers and said, "Hey, we wrote a full script for a Batman Beyond animated movie in the Spider-Verse style. Here's like, can you?" They didn't show a concept or anything. They just said, "Would this be possible?" And during that, Warner Brothers said, absolutely not. We have no plans for Batman Beyond, and nor do we plan to have any plans for Batman Beyond. It's a no. Last
So-
week, they went back. They
No.
said, we don't care. They were able to book another meeting, and they went back. And this time, Ewan had the 3 concept arts that would have been released. And they showed that. Same script and everything. They just said, this is what it could look like. And their no became a maybe, but it's up to James Gunn in the end. So they're like, can we get a meeting with James Gunn? And they said no.
I got 2 thoughts on this. My first thought is, does
I like
DC
Batman.
like just hate Batman Beyond like now? Because
Oh, no.
I mean, there was that news like what, a year or 2 ago of like, oh yeah, we considered doing a live action Batman Beyond movie with, Michael Keaton coming back as old Bruce Wayne and everything. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's nice to know. And now like, they had this opportunity and again they're just like, yeah, no, we're good. You guys just made Into the Spider-Verse and it was awesome. Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Like,
too
I
busy
mean-
doing Creature Commandos.
yeah.
Oh my god.
But
like
the fact
thing was,
sorry,
Oh,
you go,
you go
Sean. You
first.
go. I was about to
Oh, okay.
get into a whole tangent.
when Beyond the White Knight was coming out, I went back and I binged all of the cartoon and the movie included, and like Batman Beyond is really awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
and I feel especially the art that was released, like it could look awesome because it's basically like you take Spider-Man 2099's Earth, but it's Batman.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
like a
Like,
dark.
The
Yeah,
stuff could translate very well to that style.
exactly.
And to just hear that they're like, yeah, nah, we're good at the moment, because it also is interesting in the sense that DC, in terms of animated movies, tends to have like a really good output and track record with animated films, including from the 90s all the way to the DC animated movie universe. I
Mhm.
mean, now they're adapting Crisis again.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like I don't understand why they're like, oh, you want to do an awesome Batman Beyond movie? Well, we're good for now. Like, it just, my second thought on this though, does this go, if they've leaked this concept art and stuff now, does this go the Deadpool route where now fans
I was thinking
like
that too.
I
demand
think
I
it?
was
so.
thinking that too.
And we
Yeah,
get
that'd be
it?
sick.
And I think Ewan and Patrick know that because Warner Brothers said maybe.
I
They're like,
love
"Can we
you
talk
talking
to-"
about these people like they're your friends.
Well,
Oh, you
I'm-
and Patrick, like they're
okay, Patrick Harpin and you
Ewan
Ewan
McGregor.
Demers,
Yep.
Ewan McGregor and Ewan Demons, the 3 of them, they
Ewan McGregor, what?
yeah, sure.
Sure.
Warner
Obi-Wan
Brothers
Kenobi
said
pitched this movie.
Warner Brothers saw the concept art, said this looks great, maybe, as long as James
Mm.
Gunn approves it, and they said they're not going to tell James Gunn about it. So now Ewan and Patrick are just being like, okay, well, James Gunn is chronically online. We'll just post this. So
That's true.
they told the whole story and everything, and now they're just like, please share and get James Gunn's attention. So
Well, James Gunn is showing Freddie Stroma and his wife around the set of Superman today.
I saw that, yeah.
So So I love how he had to clarify. He's like, no, they're not in the movie. It's like, oh man, Vigilante's not going to be in Superman Legacy.
Would it surprise you though? Like, I feel like it's very possible.
End
I feel
credit,
like
maybe.
It's an end credit scene where they're recruiting him to the Justice Society,
Yeah,
but
just
no
like
members
Shazam.
of the Justice Society show up.
Mm-hmm. That could happen.
Or,
But yeah, I mean,
or-
I think this is gonna happen. James Gunn did an interview with The Wire recently, like a year ago, and he said his favorite superhero movie ever is Superman, but after that it's Spider-Verse. So he likes these movies. He
Superman
appreciates it.
78, man. Like I get it. I get the historical significance, but my God.
But
Yeah.
like, it
How
would
is
be
that your
so
favorite
easy to make
still?
this movie because, you know, I know there was that thing where they want like, isn't it that they're ending the Tomorrowverse because they want like everything to follow the
Everything
same
to be
continuity
canon,
and
yeah.
story? But like, this could be such an easy DC Elseworlds, you know, thing,
Yeah.
which is what they're saying they're gonna do with the Batman and Joker.
I was gonna
and
say they're doing that
everything.
with the Batman anyway. Like,
You can still say it's canon. This takes place in the future. Like, it's not gonna
Yeah, I
affect
just
what
saw
happens.
I just saw on my phone today that Barry Keoghan is returning as Joker for the Batman 2.
Yeah, he is.
Like,
well,
like
Just say it's
is he gonna be-
Elseworlds, or just don't say anything. It could be canon. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. It doesn't matter. It takes place like what's Batman Beyond? Like 50 years in the future? 60?
I think yeah, I think it's 60 or yeah.
From like
gotta be.
the present. Like it's a cyberpunk.
Because what Bruce Wayne's like
Neo
what
Gotham.
90 in that series?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, the best is like the episode of Justice League Unlimited where like the epilogue episode where it's just a Batman Beyond, but like Bruce Wayne is still alive.
crazy. Don't spoil the epilogue. That's the tagline for that. Don't spoil it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what people in the fan base say. Don't spoil the epilogue because of the
Oh, okay. I didn't know
stuff
that was a
in it.
thing.
Did
I'm
you spoil it?
sorry.
Did you say
I
it,
lost
Ron?
the game.
Did he say it? Did you say it? Wow.
What did I say?
Did you actually spoil it? Did you say the reveal?
He was about to, but he didn't.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I'm not the biggest
I
Batman
think the
Beyond
reveal is
fan.
really dumb in that episode, but
It kind of is, but it's also kind of sweet.
I'm not the
It's
biggest
kinda nice.
Beyond fan, but I need this movie. If this was official, this would be my most anticipated movie besides like Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Imagine this, Hunter, but it's Aquaman.
When we had a conversation once on this podcast about like if you could do a DC movie in the Spider-Verse style, what would it be? And JD and I both said Flash, but now it's Beyond.
Oh, now it's Aquaman. No, okay, fine.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
still
Flash-
not Aquaman.
see, the only thing like against this movie would be that Spider-Verse works so well because you have the many spider people interacting, and like at least from what I've consumed, Batman Beyond is more of like a solo character.
He
Although
is.
he's awesome in the White Knight universe where like, you know, they have that ending of everybody teaming up together. But I don't think they do that in a Beyond movie.
It would be solo. It would just be Terry and
yeah.
Bruce.
So like that's the only thing. Like there wouldn't be a Bat family. While to your point, they could do a really good Flash family movie, Spider-Verse style.
They could, yeah, but even then, you could just say the Bat family's out doing their own thing. You have Bruce look at like a Robin suit in the cave versus murder on it or something. He has a spear instead of stuff.
I saw something. I think I saw something recently posted. It might have been from DC, the account, but it was like, see Harley Quinn's highlights, and then they just showed like a Birds of Prey still, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Highlights. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I want to put this in before we end the episode.
Okay.
Okay, so like I'm thinking like regular thumbnail, but down in the corner I'll put like a black silhouette, and I'll just write special guest over the top.
Why'd you have to say it like that? You could just say silhouette, man.
No, Sean Gribben, man.
I know, but why'd you say black silhouette?
Oh,
it's 2024, Harper. Come on.
Come on.
Okay, that's
when you say silhouette, I think of a black silhouette.
End it.
There should be a yellow silhouette.
I will say, I would want to come back for a quiz now that I know so much about The Walking Dead and Invincible and Thrawn.
I would kill
just
you
so
at Walking Dead quiz.
just
I'd
so we
destroy you.
can get those questions in there.
Actually, don't know if I would.
If
What
he's
should I
done-
make the thumbnail? Actually,
Okay, well, thanks for listening. I really hope the Batman Beyond movie does happen. That is, it's become my dream movie. Like Tyler's the same boat. I wish he was here because we both have talked about it solo, and we're like, we can't stop thinking about this movie. It needs to happen. I like the story behind it about how it could happen, and Sean, you brought up a good point. I feel like this is gonna be like another Deadpool situation where so many people, like, you can't not see this concept art and be like, nah, unless you're Warner Brothers. Like,
$100 it doesn't happen, Hunter.
deal.
Stop making bets.
Excellent.
All right.
I've listened to the show for the last year, and every time I hear a bet, I'm like, oh, what are you doing?
To answer your previous question, Sean, I'm not reading Ultimate Black Panther because I'm broke. Thanks for listening. Bye. Oh, wait, Sean, where can people
wait.
find you?
How can people find me? I don't exist anymore. I'm not a news editor. I'm now a marketing person.
Oh yeah, we were going to ask him about that, weren't we?
I more so mean like your address, like if people want to find you.
I'm also in New York. I'm on the steps in Times Square. That's my base.
You've been?
That's where you live?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you open that door behind you, is it just the red stairs?
If I open it, it's literally just gonna be the stairs with like people taking photos by it, and like for some reason I'm hearing dubstep out my door.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little concerned.
You could hear someone, sounds like Andrew Garfield being like, okay, Sparky.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
think I
yeah.
just heard a fire hose or something.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
perfect
And
movie.
he wears the hat. He wears the hat because he's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a funny Spider-Man.
Do you think he stole that hat or a firefighter gave it to him?
I think he stole it.
I think he took it off a firefighter's head. It's
But-
just like
'cause
this
it's
is
like,
mine
it's
for the
clipped
bit.
on. So you think he went to grab it and the firefighter's like,
Yeah.
Hunter, that is only something you
was the
would think of.
firefighter your dad, Hunter? Was it Bob Murray?
I could ask him.
Did Spider? Do you want to ask him now? No. No. It needs
Yeah,
to
okay. Yeah,
I looked at the time before and thought about when we started, and it's almost 3 here, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm running out of time to make this fucking thumbnail. Which, by the way,
How
what
long is
should I
this
make the
episode gonna
thumbnail?
be?
Goodbye, guys.
Close to 2 hours now.
Goodbye.